Hello guys, selamat datang kepada ke dalam live podcast TOB episod 3 iaitu The Community. Kali ini kita ada tetamu iaitu Kimio. Selamat datang Kimio.
Thank you. Terima kasih.
So before kita teruskan kan, nak tanya dululah korang sihat ke belum apa semua tu. Tapi
How's your day and everything, and
yeah,
kita orang pun nak cakap thank you for waiting sebab kali ni macam started a bit lambat sikit because we have good news for you all. This podcast is being recorded and akan diedit juga. The footage will be edited and we all akan masukkan dalam TOB punya official Twitter. Right, kan Mizu kan?
Twitter dan juga YouTube channel.
Twitter. Yes, we have a YouTube channel.
And also sekarang ni kita tengah live dekat YouTube Mizu MT untuk sementara waktu. And episod yang akan datang kita orang akan live dekat official punya YouTube TOB. Alright. So sihat semua.
Dia macam 2 minggu. 2 minggu stop. 2 minggu stop terus macam krik-krik sekejap.
Dia macam start gekok balik kan.
Jangan tu. Kita tak gekok Izu.
Itu
That's
betul.
not us.
Kita tak boleh nak gekok. Kita kena behave sikit. Tapi itulah. Nak buat minggu-minggu pun macam susah sikit kan. Masing-masing busy. So
Alright,
sekarang
so right now kita ada Kimio dan kita ni. So how are you, Kimio?
I'm alright. Thank you for having me. Lama dah tak go on live and cakap apa semua. So a bit awkward lah macam cakap tadi tu. And also dah lama tak cakap dengan orang sangat kan.
Don't worry. You have me and Mizu. I'm sure you you won't be as awkward nanti.
Especially ada Mizu ni.
wait, apa maksudnya tu?
Tak. Aja melekat Mizu.
Okay, I'm sorry. So sekarang ni kita diperkenalkan dengan satu community lah kan dekat dalam art ni sebab masa saya first time kenal community art ni pun kenal waktu ada video TikTok viral. Ingat tak yang ada satu video TikTok viral di mana yang diorang post gambar diorang real and then diorang artkan diri diorang and then ada stats diorang tu.
Hey,
betul tak?
I participated in that. That's how I joined the art community juga.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Tak perasan pula, mungkin time itu tak kenal lagi kan.
Yelah tu.
Tapi itulah, waktu tu memang first time aku kenal dengan community dekat dalam art community dekat dalam Twitter ni. And then tak lama lepas tu ada pula event yang KL Sketch Nation ada buat, which is yang Hari Raya ke Merdeka tu, yang perarakan tu.
I didn't join. Masa tu I tak kenal pun Kimio, I tak kenal anybody in the art community tau. I know KL Sketch Nation but I wasn't aware of the event dia buat time tu.
I see. So itulah masa tu time I tengah tengok the viral things about the art community apa semua tu dekat dalam Twitter ni. And then start daripada situ I start to approach a little by little lah. Memang time tu memang nervous gila nak tegur seseorang punya artis kan.
Tapi you tak malu. You weren't nervous at all to spam I punya tweet. I dah macam who the hell is this guy? Man, sumpah annoying gila time tu. I dah creep out tau.
Tapi walaupun creep out tapi rapat juga kan.
Towards the end we're quite close lah. Who would have thought kan we're doing this now.
Yeah. So kita sekarang kita tengah menunggu Kimio kan kejap. Kimio dia ada macam masalah teknikal kejap. So Alia, masa first time you saw the art community dekat dalam Twitter ni, apa experience you?
Okay, masa I first time join the art community, I have to tell you, it wasn't a local art community tau. The local art community that I joined after.
Oh,
Sebab,
really?
okay, this is, I suka K-pop. So
I
I drew a
see.
lot of K-pop boys time tu. Lepas tu I macam minat gila dengan this one drama Cina. So I
Mhm.
drew a lot of character from the drama, from the Chinese drama tu kan. And from there I start to kenal. And you kenal Yana yang buat yang you cakap the event from this from our
Tahu, tahu,
own
tahu.
ni, and then we switch to our drawing tu kan.
Tahu, tahu, tahu.
Kebetulan time tu I saw and I'm macam like, okay, you know what, I nak join lah kan, because it's macam
Macam seronok.
seronok lah kan.
Yeah.
So I joined, and that's when I started to kenal yang lain-lain ni lah. The community, the local community semua ni.
I see.
Mm-mm.
Masa first time lah aku kenal dengan the part of the TOB punya gang is where waktu tu masing-masing dah start untuk create Discord art Discord diorang masing-masing. Like
Yes,
ada
betul.
orang buat pouring art diorang untuk channel saja pouring art, and then ada pouring art ada channel untuk yang basically artis masing-masing tu dia ada own channel lah.
True. Time tu
Ah.
I tak join, not to say that I tak join. I joined a few of this art channel lah, tapi I wasn't active at all. I tak active langsung. I even ada macam I masuk, and then everybody was like so good in their art. So sis ni time tu macam tersakiti, intimidated. So macam tak apalah, I leave.
Dia macam bila masuk tu rasa macam kekok ada, rasa macam takut nak tegur pun ada.
You do, you wait.
Masa first satu Discord tu yang I join is Discord Pidot.
Sembang kopi.
Sembang kopi. And then yang time tu ada kat dalam tu of course lah Pidot, and then his friend Azlan, and then bila tengok diorang tengah borak apa semua tu, and then I was so very insecure lah katanya.
Insecure. Come on, Mizu, sekarang no need to insecure. You're getting better and better in your art.
Ya, itulah. Tu pun kita nak explore lagi banyak pasal art medium kan. And lagi banyak pasal art apa semua tu. So kita pun try lah untuk engage everyone. Cuma sekarang ni paling tak mampu untuk engage art is art Matsu lah. Atsu punya art.
Yes.
But first, the medium is very aku tak boleh nak beli. The second one is the medium is very dangerous, dan aku tak ada ilmu pasal medium tu.
Yes, betul. Masa I did what Matsu did before. It was really fun tau. It's a fun process. Tapi because time tu I didn't know it was dangerous, and aku ni dah ada banyak penyakit, hohak asma apa benda semua kan. So when I found out about it, first dah le asthmatic. Lepas tu dah le broke. So asthma and broke. You think I'm to approach that? Tak apa lah. Leave it to Matsu lah.
So tengok lah benda macam you dah found your punya style. So and then you engage dengan community yang ni pun, you can see lah the progress of other punya style kan.
Betul.
Walaupun
hello. Testing. Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
So,
sorry, tadi ada sikit tanda technical.
Alright, tak apa Kimio. Asalkan berbunyi kan.
Itulah dia. Kalau tidak, habis biru muka Alia Minggu tak cakap.
Member dah macam bagi apa? Okay sign. Okay ke ni? Sambil bercakap dengan Mizu. Okay ke?
Okay. Alright.
So, Kimio, perkenalkan diri Kimio dulu.
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you for listening to apa ni TOB punya podcast ni kali ketiga dah, episod ketiga dah. Before I start apa semua ni, I just like to have everyone to have a big applause to the host lah. Dah tiga minggu, tiga kali episod dah. Okay, clap. Oh, everyone pun kat rumah tapi kita boleh dengar dia punya clap tu.
Bagi
And
reaction,
they've been-
bagi reaction guys.
and they are doing a really good job lah, alhamdulillah. So thank you for having me. So I am Hakim, or also known as Kimio in the internet, the Twitter, Instagram semua. I am the founder of KL Sketch Nation, if everyone knows also. And also I have been actively involved with art community since I think around 2010 or 2011. Before KL Sketch Nation lagi, I've been actively involved dengan art community. I've started my art community punya journey dengan, actually I was involved with Manchester Urban Sketches when I was in Manchester masa study dulu. And then that was the first taste of art community lah. So Manchester Urban Sketches ni is a group of people yang love to do urban sketching. So before that, I was drawing alone and also sometimes with my cousin, my father, apa semua kat rumah, but never really been in a proper community. But then I started to be involved in the community masa my actually my second week dekat Manchester, when I just arrived in Manchester. I got an email by the founder of Manchester Urban Sketches, Simon Diat. Dia kata calling for sketches. Let's go for a sketch walk this Saturday. I was like, what is this sketch walk? So I go and join them. Rupa-rupanya is an activity lah, weekend activity yang semua orang berkumpul kat situ and then melukis sama-sama. And then what we did was we melukis. Lepas habis melukis tu kita pergi kafe sambil minum kopi apa semua tu while discussing and have a conversation. So kat situ lah
like,
first time.
So it's
So
like
itu-
macam you guys you found a community and then you guys hang out with each other. So it's like memang every
Correct.
single weekend lah you go out dengan.
Correct. Almost. Actually twice a week sebenarnya. Diorang ada hari Rabu dan hari Ahad. That was how actively involved lah dulu lah. So bagi myself a chance to mingle around dengan the locals, especially because orang yang datang sketch walk tu bukanlah artis. These people come from all walks of world. Maksudnya ada ada pensioners, ada nenek-nenek yang bawa cucu dia buat lukis, ada lecturers, ada student, ada even professional like architects, sometimes ada doctor, lawyers and whatnot. They just spend the weekend with a group of people with the same passion or the same interest. So diorang berkumpul and then diorang maksudnya diorang put aside whatever pangkat ke, whatever dia punya level ke apa ke, but come together and have a conversation on things that we commonly love. Itu yang benda paling best sekali lah for me. And that was the spark of being in a community for me.
Alright, I see. So that is the art community and in Manchester. So now, Kimio, you talk about art community kan? So, in your opinion lah, what is art community as opposed to the other community yang dekat luar sana tu?
So basically, well, a community like I said just now lah kan, is a group of people with the same interest. Maksudnya is a kumpulan of orang yang berkumpul untuk atas dasar satu benda yang sama. Community ni can be anything. Maksudnya community tak semestinya art community sendiri. Community can be like macam for example community tukang masak for example. Kan? Ataupun community of volunteerism pun ada juga community. Ada community of katalah trading for example. Ada community of community of ruku tetangga, for example, kejiranan dan sebagainya kan. So community ni selalunya dia akan ada satu misi atau visi dia lah. Kenapa dia ditubuhkan, and dia ada this nucleus yang bind everyone together. And when we talk about art community, by means that we have a community yang semua bertumpu pada arts. Tak kira lah community tu community art visual ke, community tu community art dari segi muzik ke, ataupun apa
So,
sahaja, tapi dia
yang
akan
menyeluruh lah.
pecah lah. Betul. So community ni dia ada banyak level. Dia ada level besar, maksudnya level macam arts, kita kata semua jenis art. And then dalam community itu sendiri dia boleh terpecah kepada smaller community. Kan, daripada arts tu mungkin dia boleh kecil kepada geng-geng musician. And then daripada geng musician tu pun mungkin dia ada geng-geng geek ataupun dia suka kepada genre. Ada orang yang geng-geng community rock, ada community instrumental, for example, I don't know, but we're talking about the idea of community ni dia boleh berperingkat-peringkat.
Berperingkat. Okay.
Betul. Mizu kenapa dah?
Tak, dia macam terpukul kan dengar Kinyo bercakap, dia macam
Betul penuh.
tak, dia macam dia punya aura, dia punya charm dia tu bila bercakap tu sampai tak terkata nak cakap apa.
Nak apa ni?
Kaki bodeng kau ni. Aduh.
Okay, so kita dah tahu pendapat Kinyo pasal the community art lah kan. So and then bila kita pernah buat, TOB ni pernah buat satu like soalan about why did you start the art, macam bila ataupun kenapa start melukis, and kebanyakan yang bagi jawapannya adalah disebabkan diorang bosan, diorang tak ada kawan ataupun kesorangan. So adakah art community ni boleh macam mana nak cakap tu, Alia tolong?
Sekali lagi aku pun macam blur dengan ayat kau. Aku macam apa kau cakap?
I think I understand lah. I understand apa Mizu cakap lah. Maksudnya Mizu punya statement tadi tu, let me just betulkan sikit lah, kemaskan sikit lah. Maybe what you mean is a lot of us kita start buat art dalam keadaan bersorangan. Maksudnya kita terdetik untuk buat artwork ataupun kita terdetik untuk buat any kind of art, dia most of us is accidental. Tak ramai antara kita yang start art ni sebab semata-mata memang nak buat art. Ramai antara kita, especially in our community, in art community, Artists of Malaysia, TOB dan sebagainya, dalam Twitter ni, kita most of us accidentally get into arts ni. Contohnya macam ternampak our parents melukis, for example, ataupun waktu bosan dekat sekolah, duduk dalam buku teks, melukis atas muka dalam buku sejarah dan sebagainya kan. Tapi
paling mantap buku sejarah lah.
Betul.
Buku pinjaman jangan buat.
Tapi buku pinjaman tu lah yang shock buat kan.
The bottom line is most of us started, kita mulakan dengan bersorangan. Tapi for us, I mean especially for KL Sketch Nation, my NGO, kita believe that you will never, dia punya ayat dia, you will never improve unless you start sharing. This is what we believe in. Kita takkan improve our drawing kalau kita lukis dan simpan sendiri. Itu kita punya belief lah. So masing-masing ada belief masing-masing, but this is what we share the value with. Maksudnya when you have your buat art dan sebagainya, you need to share. Kalau paling segan pun lah, share anonymously. But whatever it is, we believe that once you start sharing, the urge to improve will rise. Kalau kita lukis dan simpan je, benda tu dia takkan berkembang lah. Dia bukan macam perkasam. Kalau simpan tu makin lama, makin dia punya rasa kan sebagainya kan. Tapi dia lebih kepada whenever everyone start to share, whenever everyone to start to react, that is where the improvement start. Dekat situlah kita boleh nampak pentingnya community ni. Maksudnya without being in a community, I bet you guys will be lost in improving yourself. So memang susah lah nak improve kalau tak ada tak be involved in the community dan sebagainya lah. I believe ramai orang juga yang share the same experience dalam this matter.
Okay.
itulah
Betul
pengalaman
tak tu,
aku.
Mizu? Itu apa yang kau nak cakap?
Nah, betul. Betul lah tu. Sebab kalau nak ikutkan pengalaman aku pun, aku memang tak ada membesar tu seorang diri sangat. Tapi adalah kenapa the reason of aku melukis pun sebab aku bosan dengan benda lain. So aku start to drawing. So tapi the community ni pun boleh je kita tambahkan lagi kita punya the skill and whatsoever ataupun kita punya pendedahan like the Kim said lah. Walau takut mana sekalipun kita boleh je at least post paling kurang pun dalam anonymous punya style. So
Yes. Aku dulu I tried lah to post anonymous tau. I tried to do that anonymously, but I'm the kind of person who loves the spotlight. So apparently that anonymous you want to be mysterious tu tak dapat dicapai. Takkan sampai kan.
Mana taknya start melukis pun sebab jealous dengan jiran.
Ya, kita semua dah baca pasal benda tu.
I cannot hide anymore.
It's alright. Tapi itulah, I mean, being anonymous is one thing lah. But I mean, anonymously sharing your artwork so that you get feedback is fine. But in the community, for me, my personal opinion, you need to, bring your persona in. That's how one of the way for you to macam senang dikenali dan senang approach lah. I mean, orang nak approach tu lebih senang bila kita bawa satu persona. Because bila kita buat art ni, tak nak kita akan share a part of us. A part of us, kita sacrifice dan juga kita bebankan sedikit our vulnerability untuk connect dengan orang. How people feel macam connected to your artwork dan sebagainya apa semua tu mostly is because of this empathy. Maksudnya dia tahu siapa kita, dia tahu background kita, dia tahu kita punya style, apa kita punya minat dan sebagainya. That's how people first connect to people, to an artist per se. So sebab itulah bila kita buat art ni, orang kata nak jadi seorang artis yang berjaya, professionally ke tak professional ke, we need everyone else with us. Kalau kita buat benda tu seorang-seorang, yes, you will achieve whatever that your intent to do lah. For example, expression ataupun you nak fix your mental punya nak susun your mental punya organisation, for example, that kind of thing. But ultimately you will need to connect with people. So bila you buat something dan bila you share dengan orang dan orang bagi feedback, that's where the conversation to happen. And this conversation is very important in developing your art punya journey lah. Macam kalau kita tengok artwork yang famous, for example, macam the one yang kita tahu macam Mona Lisa, and then kita tahu macam all those legendary punya artwork dan sebagainya. What makes them valuable is actually because people start to talk about it. More people speculate on it, more people have conversation on it, more people berebut benda tu dan sebagainya, benda tu dia punya value tu naik. And because of value tu naik lah, benda tu dikategorikan sebagai artis yang berjaya lah in some definition, kan. Tapi tak semestinya macam tu lah. What I'm trying to say is this interaction tak semestinya untuk buat you jadi famous, but rather to connect ourselves with people, to connect ourselves with the real life situation dan sebagainya. Itulah benda-bendanya.
Kalau nak ikutkan for me lah, yang art ni pun dia, for me, art yang berkualiti is art yang ada emosi. So bila orang nampak and then dia terus beremosi and then terus macam berconnected dengan apa tu lukisan kan. So that's for me is a good fine quality of art lah. Even kalau macam letak art tu like contengan biasa je ke, tapi if ada emotion tu it's very powerful punya art.
Betul?
Itu
Ya,
satu,
betul.
but there's also art yang tak ada meaning apa-apa, yang it's just simply there, tapi it's still considered as macam nak cakap something juga tau in the art scene.
Okay, just a simple rhetorical question lah for you guys untuk fikir ya. Kenapa artwork selalu kena
Kita kena soal.
Itu
baru dah bagi mic di quiz sikit. Okay. So kenapa
Tak apalah.
bagi semua orang fikir jugalah. Why do you think an artwork needs to be, need to touch people punya emotion or feelings? Kebanyakan orang target untuk attach feelings to the drawing. Kenapa? Why do you think it is important? Oh yeah, I have the answer. Just nak dengar. And also the answer is not just one answer lah. What do you think? Kenapa orang melukis dia kena letak emotion?
Risau agak tadi nak jawab tapi takut macam jawapannya satu je kan.
Nasib baik Kimio cakap jawapan bukan satu.
I know. I just want to know your opinion lah sikit.
So kalau macam in my opinion lah, yang art memerlukan emotional to attach with the orang, so that orang akan tahu yang the lukisan ataupun the art is valuable through the attachment.
Betul.
I would say the emotion tu would be part of the story, dia punya journey tau, benda tu.
Okay, dia okay. Just nak share with you guys lah. This is actually part of my research and also my PhD punya research juga, talking about how a narrative in an artwork. Okay? By the way, I just lupa nak bagi tahu yang actually I'm doing PhD right now. I'm doing my doctorate dekat UPM in the topic of critical thinking disposition of urban sketching for architectural narrative communication. So basically in simple macam mana lukisan tu dia ada kita meletakkan diri kita dalam lukisan tu untuk create satu naratif. Boleh faham tak? Ataupun macam mana satu artwork tu dia ada cerita dia. Senang ceritalah. Macam itulah. So when we talk about emotion ni, okay, psychologically emotion adalah antara benda yang paling senang orang nak connect with. Maksudnya bila kita tengok orang tu nangis, kita akan rasa sebab. Bila kita tengok orang tu senyum, kita akan rasa macam nak tergelak, for example. So benda ni is psychologically proven lah. Maksudnya even from a physical look pun, a smile will affect your bila kita lukis. I don't know about you guys. Kalau korang lukis potret, waktu korang lukis bibir tu, waktu senyum tu, automatically kita akan tersenyum. I don't know. This is my shot. You know,
actually yes.
It's very magical.
Betul.
It's very magical. Very magical. This thing is psychology punya thing lah. And bila kita melukis, sedar tak sedar, sebenarnya kita try our best to actually connect dengan orang. Lagu, kenapa lagu paling senang lagu sedih? Because bila dia ada dua benda, dia ada input and output dia. Maksudnya input dia waktu buat art tu, kita perlukan some orang kata soul ataupun satu jiwa dalam satu lukisan tu. So the best thing or the easiest thing to do is to salurkan apa yang kita rasa kepada drawing itu. Itu first thing. Second is output dia. Maksudnya itu adalah salah satu juga cara paling senang untuk connect dengan audience macam kita cakap tadi tu. Maksudnya kita kalau boleh orang tengok drawing kita tu nangis, itu lega, kita rasa puas hati.
Yes.
Maksudnya orang tengok macam when I see this wing, I reminded me of my late cat, for example. You know, macam orang boleh relate, and that is the best thing.
I paling suka bila I posted like this is a fandom related stuff lah kan. So macam I like to macam reimagine how the outcome would be kalau it's a sad ending kan. My happiness early in the morning bila ada orang commented, "Bestie, it's too early for sadness. Bestie, I just woke up. I don't deserve this." Itu paling best.
Yeah.
Dapat torture the viewer tu.
Yeah, the best thing for us is actually for when people affected dengan apa yang kita That's when kita akan rasa we are a part of something. You know, we are not alone. You know, secara tak langsung, it basically fix a little bit of our longingness. Kita punya rasa nak be part of something tu. So this is very important. That's why orang buat art. Ramai orang buat art sebab nak connect with people. So that's what, when we are a part of a community, you know, kita akan dapat senang untuk rasa benda ni. Maksudnya bila kita satu ada community, kita boleh fokus. Kita dalam satu group ni, we know that in this community or in this group of people have, for example macam Alia, dia dah baca novel ni, for example. So these people, ada 10 orang ni, dia baca dah novel ni, it's easy for you to just draw something and orang nampak, oh, I understand already. You know, bila you rasa tu, and then orang tu senang nak rasa balik, that's where the best feeling for us. That's why orang lebih prefer a more intimate community rather than a very big and wide community. Because when you are talking to a wider audience, you tak tahu benda tu sampai tak sampai. Kepuasan tu boleh capai atau boleh tak capai. Kalau capai, okay. Kalau capai, happy. You know, orang start to retweet, orang start to respond. Tapi kalau orang tak komen, tak apa, dah sendu. For example. Kan? So that's what... Yeah. itu borak lain.
Okay.
So my point here is being in a community help us narrowing our crowd, narrowing our mission and vision, so that kita lebih fokus untuk expand our own capability lah. So that's why orang suka duduk dalam community dengan orang yang satu kepala. For example, it's a small community, tak semestinya small community tu is good for us. Sometimes small community can be very negative as well. So kita boleh pilih which community that we want to be in, which one that we want to put our energy in, and all that kind of thing lah. So that's where art community ni dia jadi berkembang macam tu. Sekarang ni kita boleh nampak banyak gila art community. And we have few level macam cakap tadi kan. Kita ada the whole Twitter punya community, and then in that pun kita dah ada macam Artist of Malaysia. Dalam tu lagi kita dah ada few other smaller kolektif dan sebagainya, that kind of thing lah. So benda ni sangat important. Maksudnya benda ni bukanlah semata-mata untuk kita rasa senang dan sebagainya, tapi juga untuk our career path. Benda ni sangat penting juga.
Betul. So when you talk about career path kan, of course lah, kalau career path in art ni kita ada established artist. So in your opinion, established artist ni macam mana? And kalau let's say lah, as an established artist, macam mana kita nak contribute to the community?
Okay, so when we talk about established artist ni kalau through, I mean dia punya definition dari segi bahasa dia is when you are professionally an artist lah. Maksudnya you bekerja ataupun your bread and butter is actually doing arts. Dia ada banyak level lah. Banyak level as in tak semestinya you need to be a fine artist to do arts dan sebagainya. But what I wanted to highlight untuk discussion kita ni is what is the benefit and also kenapa kita perlu be in the community to further our career in arts lah. One of the thing is bila kita work in a community ni, kita lebih nampak sebagai seorang yang fokus. Lebih senang untuk kita fokus. That's the first one. Maksudnya bila kita dalam community ni, what kind of people around us akan define juga kita punya how people look at us. For example, if you are with comic artist punya community, walaupun you tak buat komik, you akan nampak sebagai comic artist. First thing first. Betul tak? Betul tak?
Then I have to mingle around with hot people. Then people will see me as hot.
Takut, tapi yang tu takut nampak kontras.
You do.
Okay, tak adalah. I mean what I meant is when you are trying to make an art apa semua tu, and when you are doing it in a group or in a collective, for example, collective is a form of community juga. Kolektif ni banyak lah, macam gallery, macam NGO, macam macam all this group of people yang created for a reason lah. Macam kolektif ni selalunya the reason is to sustain themselves. Macam studio kan, macam studio. 5 people, 5 friends get together and then kumpul duit and sewa studio, for example. This is a community juga, walaupun it's a smaller community, but the idea is to work together and also to form a stronger I would say presence in the field. This is very important. Kalau kata kita bergerak seorang-seorang, bila kita ada satu kelemahan, kita nak cover kelemahan tu ataupun kita nak overcome kelemahan tu akan lebih susah berbanding dengan bila kita bersama dengan kumpulan. For example, as simple as financial problem. Kalau kita gerak sama kumpulan, nak beli canvas, kita boleh beli canvas yang 100 meter punya canvas, boleh share. It's far cheaper. The harga mungkin 1/5 of the idea. Exactly. So kalau kita beli satu je canvas untuk kita buat saja, mungkin kita tak mampu. Things like that. And also sama juga macam sewa studio. To sewa a studio, kalau seorang-seorang nak fork out like what 5,000 macam tu untuk sewa satu tempat, mungkin tak mampulah. Tapi kalau kita kumpul 10 orang, 2 orang bayar 200 je, for example. Okay? So dia akan meningkatkan kita punya resilience and also kita punya kebolehan dari segi dua-dua lah, dari segi mental and also dari segi kita punya kekuatan, dari segi kita punya financial dan sebagainya lah. Secondly is when we are in a group, trust made by people outside is better. One of the reason being is orang nampak kita sebagai someone yang boleh bekerja dengan orang nampak yang kita ni tahu betul langsung.
Team player, yes.
Betul, team player. So kalau kita tengok almost semua, I can say that almost semua artis yang berjaya ataupun apa-apa saja bidang, they never work alone. Walaupun artis tu artis persorangan. Artis persorangan, diorang takkan famous ataupun takkan berjaya without the help of galleries. Without the help of people yang membeli, for example.
Saya sokong.
So benda ni sangat penting dan juga ramai orang tak nampak benda ni. Orang ingatkan bila bekerja dengan orang lain tu dia akan tak masalah. Of course ada masalah-masalah dan sebagainya, tapi as your progress goes on, you nak tak nak you will need these other people. Either you work together or either you pay someone to work with you, or either work with the community, bring your own brand and jive with others and whatnot, that kind of thing. Then only you will feel stronger. You punya confidence level pun akan naik. For example, kalau katalah corporate companies nak hire you. Kalau you seorang-seorang, you dapat commission daripada DM dan sebagainya, RM50, RM100, RM200, okey lagi you boleh handle. Kalau tiba-tiba katalah bank datang, CIMB bank datang nak bagi projek, I want 100,000 worth of service. Tak terduduk pula kita. Faham tak? Kita takkan boleh buat kalau kita seorang-seorang. If you are in a group, you feel more confident. Walaupun you tak tahu buat benda tu, you boleh research sama-sama dan juga ensuring each other. That's how you should grow lah. Kalau you nak get bigger and whatnot, that kind of thing. So it's very important to work with others as well lah.
Okay.
So aku masuk dekat dalam community art ni satu tindakan yang bagus lah.
Iya dah. Actually yes. It helps. It boosts our confidence lah. Even though kita cakap macam, my God, kau tengok Sarah lukis power gila, kau rasa intimidated sikit kan. Lepas tu macam kau tengok Pidot lukis power, betul kau macam alamak tu intimidated sikit kan. Ubay lukis ke.
Confirm mobile. Kita tahu dah.
When kita tengok at these people, there's no doubt they're really good in what they're doing tau. We do feel intimidated, but in a way, tak tahu macam mana, it sort of boost juga our confidence level, because we will have this thinking of macam, okay, kalau diorang buat, aku pun boleh buat. I have these people to help me out. And diorang tak kedekut ilmu. The people in our community tak kedekut ilmu tau. They really share. Diorang just bagi je.
Sharing is one thing lah. Maksudnya as an artist ni, if you think that this artist macam Kek Wat tak nak share semua tu, you're wrong lah. You're definitely wrong. Maksudnya you never try to ask them. Cubalah tanya, they will layan. Seriously. So far tak pernah ada lagi yang tak layan.
Either that ataupun you're in the wrong community.
Correct.
You are not meeting the right people tu je.
Yeah. But so far, daripada once I started dulu, even 10-15 years ago when I started all arts apa semua ni, so far tak pernah lagi lah any artist macam ignore your question. Sometimes sebodoh-bodoh question macam mana pun kita tanya, they will respond. Cara diorang respond mungkin berlainan lah setiap artis, tapi they will respond. And mind you, there's all these artists, we all been there. Kita pernah rasa macam tu. Kita pernah rasa starting our career, starting our nak berjinak dengan arts apa semua ni, masa kita tak tahu apa-apa. Sebab arts ni bukan satu bidang yang senang-senang kita boleh faham. It's something that you need to boil yourself in the whole pot to understand things, to absorb things and whatnot. Because masa-masa awal-awal masuk, kita takkan faham. Tapi bila dah slowly macam, baru kita tahu. Inilah maksud commission. Inilah maksud contract. Macam ni, inilah maksud yang benda macam ni. So, when you start to mingle around with these people, this information, you akan exposed to all this information. Without being in the community, without connecting with other people, you takkan pernah dengar perkataan-perkataan ni. I know for sure because I was like that also. I started macam tu juga, tanya-tanya orang dan sebagainya. That's one of the reason why right now, siapa-siapa pun yang datang to me, kalau I tak reply sampai berkarang-karangan tu, jaranglah I tak reply berkarang-karangan. Tanya anyone yang pernah approach me, tapi kena tahan lah. Maksudnya, I will
tak kimio lah kalau tak karangan.
Betul lah. So, because one of the thing is, I think I went through that. Tak ada orang pernah cerita kat I pasal some of the things. So, I have feeling of responsibility to share and also to let you guys know so that you guys boleh save like 5 years ahead. Tak perlu nak go through macam mana I went through before in the hard way. So easy for you to share and then diorang faham. Tapi sometimes it could be harsh. But then you need to understand behind the line because kita bukan komen, kita bukan bagi pendapat semata-mata untuk jatuhkan you. Never think of that. Because art community, art language apa semua ni is very harsh sometimes. You need to know that. Sebab most of us come from background yang bukan art background. So I need to tell you guys this. Because orang-orang yang belajar arts ni, we went through so hard. Tanyalah, tak pernah nangis kalau buat arts punya study architecture ke art ke apa ke, tipulah.
Oh my God.
Went through a very, very hard time. But, well, orang kata diamond wasn't made in a day kan. And also, and also diamond yang paling keras, dah lalu the pressure yang paling kuat. That's why dia jadi diamond. Things like that. So, art punya world ni is not as easy and all beautiful all the time. You see? So, you need to embrace yourself. So, when people start to comment you apa semua tu, don't take it as something negative. Kalau betul-betul orang tu from the art punya scene and dia tahu apa benda dia cakap, they will never, demean you. I tak nafikan ada orang yang salah cara untuk interact apa semua tu. But most of them are not from the art background lah, for sure. Macam diorang start comment cara tak betul dan sebagainya, nak jatuhkan apa semua tu. They never went through lah. If you went through it, you never do that to others.
Betul. That you have to pandai differentiate between criticism dengan blatant hate tu je. When Kim Yu cakap tadi we went through so hard, semua benda semua menangis semua tu kan. I teringat yang I duduk terciduk atas lantai MACD. Kau tahu macam Cinderella tu atas kursi tu letak kepala menangis. Assignment tak settle.
Normal. Memang real. Nampak dalam kartun ada macam tu, memang betul.
Betul, memang dah really happen.
Architecture studio, tanyalah budak-budak architecture yang kat sini, kalau tak ada lepas skrip duduk dekat tangga, nangis tiba-tiba seorang sekental mana, serockers mana pun nangis kat tepi tangga. Tipulah. Tak pernah, kalau tak pernah tipulah,
It's normal lah.
Betul. It's a very, very hard punya Hard punya platform lah to be with.
It's a
So
harsh,
I nak
it's a
ingatkan
harsh ni lah.
nak ingatkan lah kepada most of the people yang baru start especially, don't be shocked by this kind of culture that you'll get. Because banyakkannya yang tak pernah langsung buat art ni tiba-tiba sekarang buat art, and then bila diorang start tu masuk tiba-tiba macam, weh, aku kena komen macam ni, lepas tu give up. Then this is not for you lah. This field is not for you. I tell you that awal.
Tak fighter lah.
Tak fighter lah.
I know the Twitter punya community is very very supportive in terms of puji. But I heard a lot of times already by our own artists in the community feeling so, they call it lethargic ataupun rasa macam penat. Every time they post art, asyik dapat pujian. Sometimes sometimes this thing mula-mula orang kata macam kau ni tak bersyukur ke dah pandai lukis tu pun tak nak ni. But okay, try to think of this. Try to have some empathy on when you want to improve, you need
Criticism.
Criticism, and also the way for you to move forward. Tak semestinya when we ask for criticism tu maksudnya nak kena benda yang teruk. No. We need some macam improvement, for example. Improvement. Macam mana nak improve? Because I sedar yang dalam Twitter ni kebanyakan dia they are not open to all this criticism. So that's why ramai artis-artis dalam Twitter ni tak buat macam tu. Because dia takut. Bila dia cakap itu orang kata betul, dia risau. But I would like if everyone can start slowly, not to say terus masuk macam tu, but start slowly when you're commenting on artworks, tell them why do you like it. Then it will be very very good for you and also for the artist. Tak semestinya macam cantik apa semua tu. Okay, that's fine. Tapi kalau you betul-betul nak kritik or nak bagi artis tu rasa lagi membina, you tell them I like this artwork because I can relate to it somehow. As simple as that can really boost the confidence of the artist. I tell you that.
Yes, true. And if you let's say lah, you found something yang macam a bit odd that you rasa artist tu boleh improve, what I usually do is that I akan compliment benda tu because yes, benda tu lawa. But at the same time bukan orang kata setengah orang pandang ni macam backhanded compliment lah. Tapi for me, okay, let's say I really love the color semua ni. But about your folding like layer baju ke apa, I found it's a bit odd. So maybe perhaps you boleh Google research ke on this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
That's
how I usually do it lah.
Betul. Because sometimes these artists yang betul-betul serious in developing their own style or in macam apa nak go forward with their own arts apa semua tu, they need comments from others. Sometimes kita tak tahu apa style kita. I tell you seriously, even myself sampai sekarang pun I tak tahu apa style my own style dan sebagainya. Tapi bila tanya orang lain, orang nampak apa style kita. Because they are the consumers. They are the one yang tengok kita punya work and nampak kita punya development dan sebagainya. We have been looking at it too close until sometimes kita tak perasan. These people have seen a lot of other works, and when they see a lot of other works ni, diorang tengok artwork kita, they have a fresher eye. Dalam arts ni dia ada that term, a fresh eye, because kita dah spend too long in one artwork, kita dah lupa. That's why kalau perasan banyakkan artis-artis konsep sebagainya, contoh kan, diorang akan flip dia punya canvas. Masa dia lukis tu dia akan flip, mirrorkan. Kenapa? Because they want a fresh eye. Sama jugalah dengan looking at kita punya style ni. Kita takkan nampak style kita bila kita dah lukis until kita dah lukis for say 100 artworks. Dah tengok 100 artwork, dah buat 100 artwork, baru kita tengok, oh actually inilah benda yang sambung atau inilah benda yang define my drawing, for example.
Yang menunjukkan tu adalah diri kita. Kita tengok balik kan. Menarik
dia
juga.
Akan jadi two way. Maksudnya bila kita buat tu and also orang respond kepada kita, benda tu akan building kita punya own style. For example, yang ramai sangat orang cari, aku tak tahu style aku apa, tapi tak nak melukis. melukis 2 minggu sekali ataupun sebulan sekali, lepas tu kata aku tak tahu style aku apa. The way macam actually fine.
Dia style ni, it doesn't come to you in a day tau. Even
Betul,
I
exactly.
baru this year I've been drawing for so long daripada I kecil, tapi baru tahun ni at the age of 26 I baru jumpa my style. I rasa macam bila orang tengok tu our eye, diorang dah terus immediately tahu dah itu Alia yang draw.
So feedback from artists is very important. It's not just for you to know what's wrong, but also what's right. Sometimes kita sendiri tak nampak.
Kimio kan, macam style. Style ni kita consider as kita punya brand lah, right?
Correct, betul.
So kalau macam brand ni, do you think it's is it important kalau kita nak establishkan our style ke our brand in the art community?
Correct, betul. For me, sebab sebab apa?
Tak ada. I refresh balik.
Okay. So, branding lah, maksudnya stylization, branding dan sebagainya. This is very important. Sometimes kita overlook this thing. Maksudnya, when we do commission, for example, kan, dia ada beza tau. Being an artist and being a designer. Or being a graphic designer and become a fine artist, for example. Dia ada beza. Where when you are doing services like illustration services, ataupun when you do like design punya services dan sebagainya, you have not much room for you to explore. Because what you are doing is actually coming from the client. You just translate whatever the client said. Dia different dengan when we talk about developing your own style dan sebagainya. Dia ada dua jenis lah. Maksudnya, kalau you are in a graphic design punya macam tu, illustration apa semua tu, what you need is your portfolio. Maksudnya, you need to start to do some works and whatnot, and then you kumpulkan, this is what I can do. People might find you because you can do whatever that they can say. But it's different when you talk about being a fine artist or being a comic artist per se. Yang mana yang you need to pour your own soul inside the drawing ataupun one design or one character, for example, kan. So this brand ni is actually macam kita cakap tadi tu lah, style tu tak semestinya style tu maksudnya macam something yang kita sengaja buat. I always get this question, apa style yang I sepatutnya fokus on ataupun macam apa style aku sebenarnya, but sometimes for myself, I invented in a lot of different arts, sekejap buat ni, kejap buat tu, kejap ni buat tu, but in all my works, when you look at it as a collective, maksudnya you tengok in a wider punya sense, you boleh nampak yang my personality is in all those things. That is a better brand than when you say that, okay, my style is I only use, for example, oil painting. Semua my drawing is on painting. Itu adalah medium. Itu belum style lagi. You can focus on that, tak ada masalah. Tapi because when you do oil painting, there's millions of people are doing oil painting juga. How do you distinguish yourself with them? That's when you start datang your style dan sebagainya lah. But then just for a tips for everyone lah, because everyone pun selalu datang to me to tanya macam mana nak develop your own style lah, macam mana nak start your style lah. And
kau tengok kepala Kimio.
Lagi susah nak jawab is apa you punya style lah. Macam sudah macam mana nak jawab, things like that lah. But for me the best way to develop your own style is to be sincere with yourself. What you like. What is your interest? What is your reference? Who are your idol? Those things combined together, it will create something unique that is you. Kebanyakan orang terkenal dengan style dia masing-masing dari segi dia punya subjek, for example. Apa yang dia suka lukis. Macam for example, macam kalau kata kita ambil sekali lagi Yubai. Kan, dia dengan Godzilla dia tak habis tu kan. So macam every time is all about the monster baru you buy. So that contoh. Ini macam contoh lain macam Azian. Dia punya karakter the
perempuan she draw girls.
Feminism, feminis punya apa kata elements dan sebagainya. Kita tengok juga macam inilah few other people yang mana yang dia punya fokus on subject tu memang itulah yang dia suka. bukan dia buat semata-mata nak buat style dia, tapi itulah yang dia suka. Macam kita tengok Put lukis kucing kan sebagainya kan. So these people they have genuine interest tau, because they are being true to themselves. When they do that, that's when orang nampak macam orang tahu dia ni punya minat is macam ni. Dia tengok macam ni Indah dengan dia punya komik, because she really into comic since dia kecil. So dia develop on comic and whatnot. So she's known as comic punya artist, for example. Kan? So first thing is to be genuine with yourself, and then always take reference. Jangan rasa dia lukis tak ada reference tu lebih bagus daripada orang lain. Never think like that. Because when you are not referring to things, then you are not embracing whatever you are drawing lah. Tapi kalau you lukis tanpa reference because you dah tengok reference tu banyak kali, then that's a different story.
True.
You know, but when you bangga dengan aku lukis ni tak tengok reference pun, aku lagi power. No such thing lah. For me, reference tu penting untuk you develop your own thinking and also to connect with others. That's my opinion lah. Mizu dia cakap apa? Muka macam nak tanya benda ni.
Betul.
Tapi dia macam ni kan tadi cakap hanya kita memang perlu tengok reference apa semua tu kan, unless kita dah tengok benda tu berulang kali and then tak perlu pun reference tu. So it's still for me reference tu is also a must lah, walaupun kita dah tengok berulang kali apa semua kan. Even time aku kelas untuk fundamental drawing pun kita orang diwajibkan untuk print kita orang punya reference dan letak kat sebelah kita orang punya artwork. Even artwork kau sebesar A5 ataupun anything, a print is a must lah.
Yeah. Because bila korang cakap korang tak perlukan reference kan. Sorry.
Ya.
Sorry, Kimio hilang dekat ni speaker Twitter ni.
Hello.
Okay, now you're back. Ada.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So I was saying, maksud orang bila tak pakai reference tu bukanlah kata dia tak ada reference. The reference is in their head. That's different.
I see.
You know, bila orang kata yang orang kata power tak ada reference tu, it's not about they are not having any reference. What it meant is actually the reference already in their head. That's the powerful part of them. Contoh macam Kips dia lukis, tak perlu reference pun sebab dia dah banyak reference dia.
Baru nak mention dia kan.
If you ask him, tapi kalau you ask him dari mana reference tu, dia boleh sebut satu reference dia. Bukan kata dia tak ada reference. Bukanlah kata dia datang daripada kepala otak dia 100%. No. Dia punya reference tu because dia dah lukis beratus ribu kali kot. Kan? Kalau satu hari pun dia boleh habis dah 5-6 drawing. So that's a difference lah between having reference and not having reference. What I meant by having reference tu maksudnya you need something to refer to. You know?
No wonder lah Kips tu adalah adjektif.
Woi.
Itu memang adjektif lah, terpaling Kips.
Itu
terpaling Kips. So
alright. Jap. One last question. Mizu. Aku tahu Mizu tengah tunggu. Dia nak tanya soalan ni dari tadi. So kita kasih chance lah kat dia. Kalau nanti dia
tak apalah. Alia lah.
Ni podcast aku ke podcast aku dengan kau? Tengok kita
Tadi pun
bersama
korang
lah.
Tadi pun
Bantu kepala dia.
Pada Mizu. Come on. Aku bagi chance lah.
Okay lah. Soalan, lupa soalan dia. Alia teruskan lah.
Aduh, okay. Ini soalan pukul 4-5 pagi ketika thinking kita lah. Okay, kalau artis tu dia dah buat art for nearly 50 years kan, tapi dia tak pernah post dia punya art online. Dia tak pernah post kat mana-mana kan. Are they considered new atau old in the art scene?
Kalau dia tak pernah share kat social media.
Kimio? Tak dengar di speaker di sini.
Hello,
Kimio, ada tak tu?
Hello.
Mic check.
Okay, Kimio hilang sekejap dekat dalam Twitter ni.
Twitter
Oh, dia delay.
Dia delay.
line dia slow sikit untuk dalam Twitter. Tapi for your information, kita orang sekarang ni tengah live podcast dekat dalam YouTube. Korang boleh check link dekat dalam, ada ke dekat dalam TOB punya tweet?
Dengar tak? Clear tak soalan? Test?
Okay, dengar.
Alright, nice.
Alright.
Okay. Alright. Kat mana tadi? Okay. Soalan dia, okay. Talking about someone yang dah 50 years tak post dekat social media kan? Okay. What I meant by sharing tak semestinya social media lah. Okay. But in this case, maybe this person tak pernah share langsung artwork dia. Maybe, kan? Maksudnya dalam 50 tahun tu dia tak pernah share langsung artwork dia. Is that what you mean? Kan? Betul. Soalan dia lah. Betul. Okay. So, is it considered as old artist ataupun new in the art scene? That's the question kan? Okay. I think my answer, my opinion is going to be, it's actually new lah in the art scene because dia tak pernah masuk dalam art scene. Because dia dah buat artwork tu 50 tahun tapi dia tak pernah dalam art scene, means that dia tak pernah mulakan career dia dalam art scene. Means that dia barulah, walaupun artwork dia dah 50 tahun. But dia boleh pakai sentiment of 50 years of dia dah melukis untuk dia punya selling point ataupun dia punya to gain the trust or to gain the reliability of people that the artwork is actually kept for 50 years. So orang akan tengok balik 50 tahun lepas apa yang dia punya influence, apa yang dilukis, apa yang dia punya intipati dia, what is the soul of the drawing in the past 50 years. However, dia masih barulah dalam art scene because dia baru keluar dalam art scene. Kalau dia pernah jual artwork dia 50 years ago, then it is different story. In this scenario, dia tak pernah share langsung means that dia belum pernah masuk dalam the community. Maksudnya tak pernah masuk dalam art scene lah. Hopefully that answers the question lah.
Okay, so sekarang ni kita ada up untuk soalan-soalan dekat dalam YouTube live kita. Oh wait, dekat dalam space ni dia lambat sikit sorry ya.
Delay ya.
Malu lu.
Aduh, Mizu.
Sorry lah.
I try to just leave and masuk balik.
Kita tengok ada komen.
So sekarang ni kita ada few komen daripada TOB punya live ni.
Guys, sorry. Let me just try to leave and masuk balik boleh? Twitter ni.
Boleh juga.
Takut dah panas.
So Alia.
Yo.
Berat juga ni. Aku diam dari tadi.
Ya doh, asal kau diam tu? Ni bukan Mizu.
Sorry doh, dia macam yelah, kita punya bos pun cakap kan tadi.
Wait. Aku kan even though macam this is only our third episode kan, tapi tadi sebelum start podcast aku macam Kimio siut nak masuk. Kimio tu. Okay, jap. Nak kena behave ke? Tak nak kena behave ni? Nak behave ke tak?
Itulah risau kat tadi. Tapi banyak jugalah part yang dia kenakan kau.
Ya doh. Boleh tahan kat malam ni main kasar banyak.
Itu yang aku diam je tadi kan. What of the strategi tak nak kena.
Itu satu. Satu lagi dia bos kau.
Ya tu.
Tu.
So sekarang ni kita menunggu Kimio masuk balik dekat dalam space Twitter. So ya.
Hello, testing.
Kimio ada tak tu? Hello.
Mic check 1 2. Okay, ada dengar? Again Kimio?
Ya. Okay tak?
Mic check kalau okay.
Check.
Kalau nak test betul-betul try rap.
Wrap up lah.
So masa aku habis SPM aku join satu art community ni lah, which is not from Twitter, which is from Instagram. Dan mostly yang dekat community tu kebanyakannya adalah lingkungan dalam budak-budak sekolah lah, sekolah menengah dengan sekolah rendah. So I decided to macam stay dengan diorang and I try to gain some knowledge daripada tempat lain. And then kalau diorang ada tanya ke apa, and I try to give them the ilmu lah, to share with them juga kan. So tapi dekat dalam tu I feel so limited sebab dia macam tak berapa ramai yang dah ke arah kematangan dalam art ni, and then I was like tak berkembang my ilmu inside there. So waktu tu dalam setahun 2 tahun jugalah mencari community art yang lain kan, untuk aku kembangkan lagi aku punya skill. And yeah, I found out dekat dalam Twitter, I found out you guys dekat dalam yang TOB ni. And it turns out good lah. I improve more and more, and looks aku punya watercolor tahun ni I've made it. dapat buat watercolor sebab sebelum ni aku tak pernah sentuh watercolor.
Terkeluar.
Kimia terkeluar lagi sekali.
Kimia.
Biru dah Alia.
Jangan dah, aku cepat nervous sikit ni. Kita tengok biru.
Biru. Tak tahu nak cakap apa.
Tapi Kimio dia tak buat kita sebiru 2 minggu lepas lah.
Ya tu si Mat dia macam dapat masuk sekejap, lepas tu keluar balik, dapat masuk sekejap, keluar balik, rasa macam elok tak elok ni.
Aku macam berpeluh. Oh my god.
Hello Kimia, ada?
Dengar dah.
Ada dengar.
Okay. Alright. So macam ada soalan?
So ada apa-apa soalan ke? Sekarang ni Tok Kura sekarang dia request untuk join kita punya space. Maybe dia ada soalan yang ingin bertanya. Kita boleh boleh ke?
Boleh. Let's go.
Alright. Hello, Assalamualaikum Tok Kura.
Tok Kura.
Boleh collect soalan sebab tak dengar.
Tok Kura ada ke tu?
Tok Kura. Assalamualaikum. Saya di sana, siapa di dalam?
Di dalam siapa di luar.
Macam tu Hello,
Alright,
Tok
okay.
Kura.
Yes.
Oh, dah reply dah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Boleh Nohal. Thank you for joining us, Tok Kura.
So kita ada satu soalan daripada yang ni dekat YouTube chat ni. Kita ada soalan, do you have a specific style? If so, what is it? Ni khas untuk Kimio.
Soalan alamak. Terkeluar balik daripada kita.
Okay.
Oh, terkeluar balik.
Terkeluar.
Dia terkeluar balik daripada Twitter.
Aku tak tahu. Apa so phone aku panas gila ni. Kalau web ni boleh?
Nampaknya kita ada masalah ni. Masalah teknikal kejap.
A bit of a technical.
Web punya boleh? Web punya boleh? Tak boleh.
Tak apa. Sebenarnya aku nak cakap something tadi, tapi dia macam bila Kimio hilang, aku biru sekejap. Orang selalu demam kuning, ada demam kuning kan? Betul kan? Ada demam kuning kan?
Ada.
Aku demam biru.
Apa ya? Jadi Smurf.
Weh. Pendek kan? Boleh kan?
Pendek.
Dengar tak? Okay.
Alright, yes.
Alright.
Okay, dengar tapi anda blub.
Hello.
Blub.
Try sekali lagi. Hello.
Hello?
Alright. Tu Mizu silap respon.
Oh,
Testing.
suara aku pun dah lupa
Okay.
Tak, dia macam because Kimio is moving his mouth but tak dengar dekat speaker, dekat
see.
Twitter.
Hello. Dengar. Boleh dengar? Hello.
Uh,
Tak dengar.
Tak dengar dekat Twitter tak dengar Kimio.
Tidak dengar. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
So
Hello.
we
Test.
hello,
Ah,
okay,
okay,
nah,
okay, okay,
yes.
okay, okay.
Alright, ada.
Okay.
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 So to repeat Yani punya question
Soalan.
tadi. Yes.
Mhm.
Kimio, do you have a specific style? Kalau ada, what is it?
I see. So tadi kita dah cakap dah pasal style tu apa semua tadi kan. Tapi as for me kalau
Kimio,
untuk style,
anda belum lagi di Twitter. Mengapa?
hello. Rasanya sebab
Aduh.
phone dah panas ni.
Mungkin phone-nya sudah panas kan. Dia dah sampai limit.
iPhone ke?
Test. Hello. Clear tak? Tak clear. Hello. Okay.
Betul lag tu.
Betul-betul lag.
Test ada. Okay, ada sudah.
Okay.
Boleh. Cakap. Hello.
Okay, ada?
Nampak. Memang delay lah.
Clear. Kali ni clear. Crispy clear. Seperti anda di sebelah saya.
Oh, amboi.
Oh.
So kalau nak cakap pasal style lah. Kalau cakap pasal style, for me, I don't really know what kind of specific style that I have macam tadi cakap tadi. Okay tak?
Okay,
Dia
lag
lag
lah dekat dalam
Dia
Twitter.
dia delay sedikit lah.
Okay lah, tak apalah.
Okay,
Kalau-
macam ni. Kalau macam tu, just leave your comments and TOB akan
biarkan.
sorry, TOB akan respon kan. We will reply through apa tu
Tweet.
namanya, Allah.
Reply.
Demam biru dah.
Tweet, reply.
TOB akan reply kan on behalf of Kimio lah. Kita akan tanya pada Kimio and we will respond to your questions. So, if anything, just drop in, just spam je TOB tu, just drop in your question. Orang yang sama sampai 10 kali soalan pun it's okay. Tapi soalan yang berbeza lah ya. So, feel free to drop by all of your questions and TOB will answer it for you. Maksudnya macam Kimio jawab tapi TOB jawabkan.
Yeah. So, sekarang ni kita masih ada masalah isu dengan Twitter punya space. Maybe insyaAllah episod yang akan datang kita orang akan cuba untuk mengusahakan TOB live podcast 100% dekat YouTube, which is kita orang tak letak dekat dalam Twitter, which is korang boleh terus respond and then terus reply, comment and anything dekat dalam YouTube punya reply section. Chat section. Yes.
Keluar tak? Ke masih blue-blue ni?
Kau cakap apa tadi?
Hello.
Siapa? Aku ke Kimio?
Takkan aku cakap aku kau dengan Kimio. Kau lah.
Test. Okay.
Dengan kau lah.
So macam sekarang ni kita orang masih lagi live dekat dalam YouTube dan keadaan sekarang ni pun maybe korang boleh dengar Kimio dekat dalam YouTube tapi tak dengar dekat dalam Twitter sebab dia ada latency yang berbeza kan antara Twitter dengan YouTube. So
hello. Rasa dah okay sikit ke?
Kimio is saying something tau.
Tapi tak keluar.
Aku tak dengar dekat Twitter.
Okay.
Tak apa,
okay lah.
aku dengar test je dari tadi, Allah.
Tak apalah.
It's okay,
Disebabkan
Kimio.
Okay, tak apa, it's okay.
These things happen.
Kita punya session pun
is coming to an end.
Tamatkan. So siapa yang siapa yang mendengar daripada awal sehingga habis tu, terima kasih
Thank you very much.
kerana support kami dan juga jangan lupa subscribe kami dekat YouTube which is Thinking on Box punya channel, dan juga jangan lupa follow kita orang dekat Twitter Thinking on Box. InsyaAllah kita orang akan improvekan lagi kita orang punya live podcast ni, dan akan datang akan lebih banyak konten-konten yang kita orang akan share pada korang. And ada satu konten kan yang kita tengah usahakan ni, Alia.
Konten apa
Sekarang
tu?
ni tengah dalam
dia lagi
Yes.
lagi tak jadi
It
jangan.
is-
dalam pilot punya ni kan, cuma
It's in the process. It's in,
In
the
the
process.
process
So
lah.
it's going to be a
Kita akan share,
surprise
kita
for
akan
all
share.
of you. And we really do hope that you guys are looking forward to this lah. Sebab kita orang pun, each one of us are working really on this one.
yes. So apa yang perlu disampaikan lagi, Alia? Ada 1000 patah kata lagi.
Apa yang we will be live again on benda biasa lah aku cakap.
Oh yeah.
Ni boleh cerita pasal
Nak aku cakap apa, tolonglah saya single cari jodoh. Mestilah aku cakap benda ni. Okay, we will be live again lagi 2 minggu as usual. And at the same time 9.30 sampai 10.30. Okay, so kita nak cakap tagline kita. Mizu, tolong bersemangat sikit ya.
Okay.
Minggu okay. Okay. Tarik nafas.
Okay.
Okay.
Dia nervous lah ada bos kat sini.
pula.
Kau bukan nervous, kau takut benda tu cringy kan?
Bukan nervous.
Okay. Okay, on the count of 3 tau. Aku
Okay.
kira lepas tu, make sure kau buat sekali.
Okay.
Okay.
Sekejap aku lupa
1.
buat yang mana.
Yang alah kita punya
Okay,
hashtag
okay.
kita tu lah.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. Buat
Okay.
1, 2, 3. TOB.
Kasih jadi. Alright guys. Thank you guys.
Alright, thank you very much for joining. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice week, and we see you guys in another 2 weeks. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.